Unsteady is a great story about mental health. Just very well told, very on the nose, and I highly recommend.
You talking shit for the hell of it. Addicted to betrayal, but you're relevant.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we're gonna start with one of the first 5-star reads I've read of 2025. That is Unsteady by Peyton Corinne. It is a figure skater hockey romance. This book I bought last year, and it's just been on my TBR, and finally I was like, you know what? Figured why not? So this book, I'll read the little thing for you guys. Reese is desperate to feel anything. Sadie wants to stop feeling so much. Reese Korteski is back, at least he's supposed to be. During last year's Frozen Four, the Waterfall University hockey captain and NHL legacy took a brutal hit that left him with a concussion and a new discomfort on the ice. Plagued by nightmares and panic attacks, every time he attempts to skate, Reese wonders if he'll ever play again or if he'll ever want to. Sadie Brown is staying focused this semester, no matter what. Currently drowning in debt, custody hearings for her younger brothers, and skating practices, she's just trying to make it to the next day. A Spitfire figure skater known for her bad attitude and frequent disappearing acts, Sadie has a reputation on campus, and it's not a pretty one. When she accidentally witnesses one of the Golden Boy hockey captain's panic attacks and attempts to help him, a strange sort of understanding strikes up between them. No questions asked, just comfort. But Reese finds himself drawn to Sadie. Where he feels empty, a shell of the man and player he was before, Sadie is so full of everything. It bursts from her. Every emotion she feels seems like it's blasted at max volume. Reese is desperate to feel anything. Sadie wants to stop feeling so much. But healing doesn't mix with secrets. And they're both skating on thin ice. I read this book from January 4th, 2025 to January 5th, 2025. So that's how good it was. I read it in one day. This is the first. Unloved, which I've also read, is the second. Unbounded comes out next year. And so I'm really excited because I loved Unsteady. Unloved, I also loved. I cannot wait for Unbounded. Like, the fact that these books all take place the same time frame with different people is like, you see parts of their story in the other books, but you don't fully know what's going on. So that's really, really cool. I gave this book 5 stars. When you read a book in 24 hours, it's hard not to. Like, that's, I mean, to me, how I know I really enjoyed a book. Sadie and Reese actually grew up training in the same training center and not really realizing it until they get introduced by her figure skating coach from when she was younger and his hockey coach when he was younger, who happened to be married. And they always said they thought they would be great together. And they get introduced and they're like, yeah, we already know each other. How do they know each other? Well, they go to the same college. One's a figure skater and one's a hockey player. And 2, poor Reese had a very terrible injury during the playoffs last hockey season. And Sadie found him having a panic attack trying to get on the ice. And Sadie becomes the only person who is really able to get Reese to open up. Bennett, his best friend, he can't even, like, he's like, I'm just trying, like, he's not really talking to anybody, especially when he was on injury. He was very shut off and didn't want to talk to anybody, and you can kind of see how it hurts his friendship, but also how once he's able to open up to them and tell them what's going on, how supportive and amazing that his friends are and his teammates are. So that's really awesome. And then on the other hand, you have Sadie, who, her dynamic is very, very difficult. Her biological mom and one of her younger biological moms walked out when they were very young and just never came back. Her dad is an alcoholic. He has a lot of addictive tendencies and is not paying the bills, taking care of the kids, so it kind of falls on Sadie. Sadie is in college, but her brothers are like, I don't know, but they're younger. Like, I want to say they're like 6 and 8. That could be wrong, don't quote me. They're on the younger side though. So she ends up taking care of them, making sure they're where they need to go, where they need to be, and all that. And she's trying to get full custody so she can take her brothers out of the house, because she's not there all the time, and she actually ends up taking her brothers to her dorm room with her best friend Ro, more than not, just because of her dad. It's really sad. And her youngest brother actually is her half brother. His biological mom left him on the doorstep and said, see ya. So, like, the other two don't have a mom, but she's trying her best to take care of the both of them. And then Reese comes along, and Reese really just wants to help. He just wants to help. He wants to be there for Sadie. He wants to be there for the boys. And he knows he can't push Sadie too much or she's gonna pull back and not trust him and open up. So there's this one instance I remember so well. Sadie cannot get, I don't remember what she was doing, but she was like, she physically could not get the boys. And Ro, we now know what Ro was doing, but Ro was over an hour away, trying to get back to help her watch the boys, because her best friend Ro would take her when she wasn't able to. So she called Reese, and Reese just hung out with them. He actually ended up bringing him to his parents' house so his parents could meet them, and they seemed very okay with Reese's dad in the beginning. It took a lot, like Reese's mom really had to work because they've never had a mother figure in their life. So, Reese was just there like, it's okay, if you want to go, you can go. And the youngest one actually was the one to open up first and do that. And then, so yeah, but there's just so much, like, the guy who actually gave Reese the injury in the finals last year is transferred to the school and is now on the team, and nobody is happy about it. It is a huge thing. Torin is actually the character for the 4th book, so I know, like, he has this bad boy persona, but in both the books that I've read so far, he's actually been very, very helpful to the female main characters and tried to help them and be there for them. And I think that speaks volumes to who he is as a person, and compared to what he's showing everyone. Like, he tries to be this big bad guy, but I think he's just hurting. So I'm really excited to see all about that. So then Sadie actually decides to do something for herself and goes to a banquet for Reese's family. And of course she has to leave the boys, and Ro was gonna pick them up. But Ro actually went to get them and they weren't there. Like, pick them up from school and they weren't there. She's calling Sadie. She's like, I don't know where they are. They weren't here. Turns out their dad picked them up drunk and got into an accident. So they go to the hospital. Sadie's still trying to fight for custody with the boys, and I think this really is a wake-up call and a pushing point. And Reese's parents fall in love with Sadie and her brothers and decide to adopt the boys so Sadie can still have her own life and not be a mother to her brothers. And I think that is just so beautiful that she now has a place where she knows the boys are well cared for and she can trust them, and it's and it's with her boyfriend's family. and she's welcome anytime. It's an open door. She can see them whenever, she can take them whenever, and I think that's just a really beautiful thing, how his parents stepped up to help the woman that he loves, and they just have the sweetest relationship. They lean on each other in such great ways. And one of my favorite quotes was, I'm never like this with anyone else. Absolute peace. It leaves me full, unprotected, unaware of anything except the softness of her skin and the hard pillars of stone that guard her heart. That was what Reese said about Sadie. And then he also said, you are worth it. And if I have to fight the little demons in your mind that convince you otherwise every day for the rest of our lives, I'll happily do it. Like, so that is the premise of what Unsteady is. It is a spicy romance, so there is spice. If you're not into spice, you'll probably hate half of the books I read, more than half, probably 90% of the books I read, but a lot of the books I read have spice. It's a spicy romance. It's 357 pages, and honestly, this is what I said about it for my book channel. I'll read the review for you guys. I could not put this book down. Unsteady focuses on mental health in a big way and in an enjoyable way. Sadie and Reese really did not plan on falling for one another, but become each other's crutch. Without spoiling it, let's just say I need Torian Kane's story stat. He's the fourth book. Okay, I'm not getting that anytime soon. But Unsteady is a great story about mental health. Just very well told, very on the nose, and I highly recommend. So if you are looking for your next read, something that might be what you're into, something different, I highly recommend this book because it's got romance, it's got mental health, it's got custody hearings, battles, it's got birthdays, it's got college life, hockey, figure skating, adoption, you name it. But highly recommend, if you have not read it, pick up a copy. And if you want to hear my review on Unloved, which is Freddie and Rose story, let me know. I would love to give you guys my review. I'm pretty sure I also gave that one 5 stars. It was so good. If you guys want to see my review of Unloved, which is the second book, it's Freddie and Rose story, let me know. I would love to give that for you guys. And just comment, subscribe, like, tell me more of what you want to see, any books you want me to review. And yeah, anyway, keep reading.
Nice to meet you. Where